Hello guys and welcome, because today is my Q&A officially celebrating 1 year of me having my YouTube channel.
I know, I think that's personally quite a milestone actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit of a journey, and I put the questions to you guys on Instagram and Twitter, and I said, well, what do you want to hear from me? What do you guys want to know? Because of course, I don't know all of you guys personally, which is, although that doesn't sound like a great thing, it's actually a great thing, because that means there's so many of you that, I can't actually get to know all of you personally, which I guess is a step in the right direction. And,
and you've got listeners from like all around the world as well.
Yeah, I have quite a big fan audience over in the United Arab Emirates. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with it.
Absolutely nothing, of course. But of course, if you're listening to this live on Bright Radio, thank you for joining me. But if you're watching this on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my YouTube, anything like that, thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you here. But let's just kick off with the questions. Seb has all of them here.
Yeah. Well, first off, let's start at the top, shall we? What is your favourite song?
My favourite song?
Yeah.
Oh. Now, see, that is a question which I can never truly be prepared for, because it's always changing.
I know, there's like a lot of really good songs out there as well, and it's difficult to have one favourite song.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd probably say Soma by Return of the Jaded, and purely because it's not the type of music I listen to usually. It's a very emotional and raw song. It doesn't even have to say much, just to strike a chord within you. So I'll put a link into it wherever I can, because I really think you guys should go and listen to it, because it's just an absolutely well written masterpiece of a song.
I can't say I've heard of that either, so
no, but I'll play it for you when we get back to house.
Yeah, alright. Next, who is your favourite house artist?
Who's my favourite house artist? Favourite house artist? Oh, now this is a difficult one, because I reckon I know who my favourite house DJ is, but house artist... This is such a difficult question.
How about we give you a little bit of time to think about that, and then we go on to your favourite house DJ? Why not?
Okay, so my favourite house DJ is most definitely Eats Everything.
Yeah.
He comes from Somerset, Bristol, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his sets. You showed me a few of them.
Absolutely,
really cool.
Insane, loads of energy.
Yeah.
And just he always looks like he's doing something. I hate it when DJs pretend they're doing something. Look, I'm DJing. Yeah, no, I'm not actually doing anything, because I'm just moving my hands. Yeah, I'm just moving my hands. But he's actually doing stuff. You can hear the difference, and his mixing style is just insane. I'm really going to start having to think about my favorite house artist, and this is so difficult. Let's move on to techno. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Who's your favorite techno artist then? Why not?
Who's my favorite techno artist?
You have an idea of this one?
I'd probably say... I have two in my mind.
Give us both of them, why not?
No, I have to give you one. I'd probably say Carl Cox.
Carl Cox?
Yeah, because although he doesn't release music too often, which doesn't get massively into the mainstream, it's always just a different caliber. And of course, as a DJ himself, he just makes it so wonderfully easy to mix. And for house artists, this is probably going to sound a bit cliche. I like what James Hype is doing. Although he's bringing a very kind of like new element into it via tech house and all that kind of stuff. He's just a great artist. He works with Tita Lau quite a lot. And what they're doing is just pushing the boundary a bit. They're bringing tech house more to the masses, which although a lot of your traditional house heads are going, oh no, this is horrible, they're not using traditional sounds. Anything to get more people into the house community is absolutely amazing. And we love him for it.
And so would you say tech house is kind of like a mix of techno and house music? Is that what you mean by that?
Well, that's what it originated as. Absolutely, but at the moment it's kind of just more commercialized house available to the audiences.
It's very interesting. So going off of that, who would you say is your favorite techno DJ then?
Favorite techno DJ? Probably Adam Beyer. Absolutely amazing guy. He doesn't smile a lot when he's on stage because he's always concentrating quite a bit. The only person I've ever seen him happy around is Carl Cox, or whether he's just generally doing a back-to-back DJ set with someone else. But he brings such a mixture of music. He often brings in a lot of trance tones into his music.
Okay, so he's kind of like a more controversial than traditional.
Yeah, absolutely. And I watched one of his streams. Done by who is it over in Amsterdam? Oh, I'll remember their name at some point. And they were
like halfway through the show, like,
yeah.
oh, that's who it was.
They were live streaming one of their sets, and Adam Beyer was featuring on it, and they were like loads of traditional techno people in the comments were like, oh, this isn't techno, this is more trance. And I was just like, guys, just enjoy the music. It is obviously techno, it's just got some lovely synths in it.
Yeah.
Just appreciate it. God, he's a good DJ.
Why not have a blend of 2 different genres, maybe even more?
God, you still have your traditional techno DJs. Yeah. It's good to have someone pushing the scene, because otherwise you're never going to get anywhere. You never know, there could be a new genre out there which we still don't know about, and maybe he could be the pioneer for that.
Yeah. I guess there's always I guess there's always new subgenres and genres being created.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different ideas from people.
Absolutely.
And again, who would you say is your favorite overall DJ?
No,
if you had to have just one person.
I saw this was coming up, and I already know who it is. Carl Cox.
Carl Cox?
Absolutely. There's no one else it could be. Honestly, the DJ's DJ. I've been reading his book. Oh yes, absolutely amazing read. Go and read it. Not that this is sponsored, but go and read it. I wish it was sponsored.
Yeah. Oh my god. Could you imagine?
But he is just an absolute pioneer for the music industry. He brought kind of house and techno into this country. Pioneered drum and bass in this country as well. And although not part of the Ibiza 4, who were a group of 4 DJs who went over to Ibiza and brought the sound back here, he actually helped them a lot, because when he was starting off his DJing career, he supplied sound systems for people, and he often gave them sound systems because clubs wouldn't hire them, even though they had this revolutionary new sound. Clubs were like, no, we're not taking this. People might not like it. So
I guess it takes a little while for people to accept change.
Yeah, so they booked a venue. Carl Cox was like, yeah, have a sound system, and well, yeah, that's that really.
So somewhat linking into this question, would you say Carl Cox was one of the people that inspired you to start DJing? Like, what got you into DJing?
What got me into DJing? Well, DJing was the next logical step for me after I'd had a little go at producing, and I just wanted to show my love for music, and I wanted to spread that with other people. So it was I kind of found house music, and it was the very early stages of it. When I found it, I found it about a month before I got my DJ decks.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I haven't been a massive house music fan for that long actually, but it's been so great, and thankfully I had my parents support me through this, got me the equipment and stuff, got me into it, and they were probably thinking in the back of their minds, this ain't gonna last for long, he's just gonna give it up. It's everybody teenage boys dream to become a DJ and be that kind of superstar DJ.
And now, you've been a DJ for a year. You've
not a year, a year on YouTube,
yeah.
2 years in total, although it seems like it should be longer.
It's because you've actually been a DJ for longer, but on YouTube you've been for half the time.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
So somewhat moving on. What is your musical past and background like?
So my musical past is actually quite varied.
Yeah.
So from a young age, my mother was the kind of influence of my music, and
I'm assuming this is just what's playing in the car or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stereo.
Yeah, or occasionally in speakers in the house. And she had quite a similar music taste to you. She was always constantly playing Linkin Park, Slipknot.
Wow.
A Sound of Silence was one of the first songs I ever heard by Disturbed, and
it's an amazing cover. It's very
absolutely,
powerful.
Absolutely. But when I look back at that, I wouldn't think I'd be where I am today. And then I kind of progressed into just trying to analyse music more, listening to more pop music. And one day I found my dad's old cassette player and a couple of old cassettes, and I put his 90s cassette in. And I heard this wonderful song, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was called, but I think it was from Dreamscapes. and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I often listened to a lot of 90s albums through CDs which we had, and it's just that kind of electronic music which started up house music, which started up that drive within me. So you never know, maybe I am house music.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, you are, I think, the person I know with the widest musical taste I think I've ever met.
Yeah, so I listen to house and techno, of course.
Yeah.
Drum and bass, but we'll come on to that a bit later. Of course, I also listen to trance. I do occasionally dip into a little bit of classical, along with country. Of course, I like to listen to Slipknot, Linkin Park. One of my favourite death metal bands is Dying Fetus. Rather strange name. I do quite like my pop music as well. I'm quite a big Billie Eilish fan, actually.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a contrast from death metal, like one song, to then like you skip like a song and then you're suddenly on pop. That's quite the contrast.
It's quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just helps me remain alert to the kind of changes which can happen within the music industry. So, there's always publicity opportunities there. If I spot a trend before everybody else does, well, then I can be the one who benefits off of it the most.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess being an early adopter in that sense is a good thing.
Yeah.
And next question. Well, what was your first decks?
My first decks were my Pioneer DDJ 400s, which features in my DJ videos till about August this year, and they have that quite colourful skin on them, which makes them. Some people have said it looks like a donut. Some people have said it looks like a 90s synthwave kind of thing. I just think it looks really cool. It's designed by a German artist, Mizucat or something like that. But yeah, really cool. They're quite a small set of decks.
Yeah, that's what you were using to for the mix on Thursday?
Yeah, Saturday.
No, Saturday. That's
Yeah,
right.
They're still great portable decks. They're great because they're powered off my computer. They're about this big. I don't have to carry around my massive decks, my DDJ RX, which I love because I can do so much more on them. But my DJ 400, they got me started at DJing, and I think they'll always be my most important set of decks.
So would you say that they're like your travel decks or something? Yeah,
absolutely. I did a DJ set up on a tour in Devon, which I'll link below this video, or maybe it'll just be up there. I don't know. Depends if I have a good enough editing skills. Or maybe it's somewhere.
Somewhere on the screen.
Maybe it's right there. Okay. Hopefully I did that in time.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
I'm trying to be a YouTuber.
If you weren't aware, we are actually in the studio recording us doing this show, and this is going to go up on YouTube, I believe.
Yep. So anybody who's listening to this on Bright Radio, do not be too confused.
Yeah. If you hear someone go, oh, it's like this, and then like he's actually doing something with his hands in the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't show that over the radio.
Yeah. But they are definitely my travel decks. Doing that tour setup in Devon was absolutely magical, but I couldn't have done that because of course I didn't have power up there.
Yeah.
But thankfully I had 4G, so I was able to stream all my music through Beatport. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Those set of decks will always stay with me because they've got that special kind of connection, even if they're not as good as my other decks.
Well, yeah, because it's what you started on. It's what you built your career off of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I'll ever get rid of those. I think they'll just be hung up on my wall one day.
Yeah. And next question: how often do you DJ?
How often do I DJ? Well, this varies a lot.
Well, yeah, because I guess you can't really be doing it all the time because you've got school.
Yeah, so when I'm at home, you can expect me to be DJing nearly every day for about 2 hours. Putting in that practice, recording videos, all that kind of stuff. When I'm at school, I have DJ lessons every Tuesday for about 35 minutes with the wonderful James Emerson, who actually, interesting enough, is an ex-pupil of the school.
Oh wow! But I didn't know that.
He's an amazing DJ tutor, and big shout out to him. He's really helped me, especially with something which I'm gonna talk about in just a minute. But I haven't been able to practice a lot recently because of course I've got exams.
Yeah. I guess that's where like the main focus of time has been going to.
Yeah, but I'll DJ at any opportunity I've got, typically on the weekends.
And well, I think I saw this one quite a lot. How can other people get into DJing?
Yeah, this is often quite a daunting thing for people because they don't know where to start. So I'll probably clip this and put into a 1-minute video, so I'll try and do this fast. To get into DJing, you need to start off with a beginner set of decks and choose a software. So either Traktor, Serato, or Recordbox. Which one that is completely up to you, but I'd do your own research on it. Then you choose your decks. Go for a beginner set of decks. Do not try and spend thousands of pounds. Try and less than £300. Of course, if you can spend £1,000 on your first set of decks, cool. But the less you spend, the more you'll kind of grow into it faster. You won't be overwhelmed with the features as fast.
Yeah.
Then you need to get yourself a nice set of headphones. There could be a set of Audio Technicas like these. Any old headphones really does when you're starting out. And then try and get yourself a set of speakers if possible, whether that's just a small set of PC speakers, nice set of DJ monitors, studio monitors, a surround sound system at home sometimes works. Absolutely anything. You know, you just got to have that drive to do it as well.
Yeah, so I guess it's more of like a motivation thing. You don't need all the equipment.
No,
if
absolutely
anything,
not.
it's probably easier to learn on a beginner decks because let's say they have like more stripped back feature set.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get confused about all these
absolutely.
complicated features that you don't know how to use yet.
Yeah, absolutely. No, one thing which I would definitely say is that some people like to spend lots of money on DJ lessons online and stuff like that. I didn't really see the point in that at the start. You know, admittedly I do have a bit of a talent when it comes to music and DJing, but I watched all my YouTubes for free on YouTube. DJ Carl Antendido, who's the other ones? Oh, I can't remember anybody else. Crossfader does a lot of good stuff. Get in the Mix, you know, and Get in the Mix are great for product reviews and stuff like that. You know, there's a plethora of stuff. If you want to learn how to scratch, look it up on YouTube. If you want to learn how to beat match, look it up on YouTube. If you want to know how to mix drum and bass, techno house, look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. I kind of said that for a second then.
Absolutely anything.
Yeah, and on a musical note, do you play any other instruments? And if so, what are they?
Well, I do play the saxophone actually, the alto and the tenor saxophone, and you know I absolutely love those instruments. Although admittedly I haven't been putting in as much practice as I need to.
Well, I mean, well, it's.
I
probably,
hope my saxophone teacher doesn't watch this. If you do, I'm really sorry. I will put in more practice soon. For your band, I'm gonna have to start learning the bass guitar soon.
Yeah,
that's gonna be interesting.
Well, I mean, you've got Rayhan. He's like the musical genius among us.
But I don't really play any other instruments apart from just generally producing.
Yeah, okay.
I do learn a little bit of piano, but that's just what you have to learn.
On a similar note, who are your favorite non-house techno artists or bands?
Non-house favorites.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, of course.
Yeah.
Mainly because of her brother works, Phineas, because he does a lot of the producing for her
songs.
I
remember you said he's a really cool producer.
Just if you have a really good set of headphones at home, sit down, turn them up a bit, and then you'll just listen to it all. It's absolutely amazing.
It's like it's a different song.
Yeah. I'd probably say Bring Me the Horizon is also pretty high up there. Can You Feel My Heart is definitely one of my top songs.
They're a really fun band to listen to, I find.
Absolutely. Slipknot, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Linkin Park, of course. I have their album up on my wall at home.
Yeah.
It really just generally rock, metal, those kind of things.
Yeah. Do you like drum and bass? This is, I think, a very frequently asked question.
Yes, drum and bass. Now, a lot of people have misconcepted what I've kind of said before. I do not hate drum and bass. Actually, interesting enough, and this is what I've been talking about, I've began to learn to DJ drum and bass, and with the help of my DJ tutor, I've now actually been able to DJ drum and bass. I've done a 30-minute set, and you know it's working really well for me at the moment. So expect to see some drum and bass mixes coming out soon.
Yeah.
It won't be too far away.
Well, I guess there's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
What is your favorite genre, like overall?
Ooh. I
get it's going to be difficult for you because you like all of the.
It's definitely either
really.
going to be house or techno. I'll probably go house, but then I'm probably going to choose a subgenre, and in which case, I'd probably say deep house, because deep house super chill.
Like studying kind of.
Yeah, it's
styles.
really nice to make. It's study vibes. Yeah, you know it. I just love it.
So it's like what you relax to almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Slightly slower BPM, not many manic drums in there, not quite like techno, it's not quite punching you in the face every kick.
And it's not like really fast, is it? So
no, not like drum and bass.
Would you say you've got much better than you used to be at DJing now, and that you've learned a lot?
Well, I probably wouldn't compare myself to when I first started, because obviously I have improved since then.
Well, yeah.
But I'd probably compare to myself to the start of the last year. And I did have a look back at my first DJ video the other day, and I thought, wow, how did that get so many views? It's a bit rubbish. You know,
well, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you know, and I've not to flatter myself or anything, but I think I've made heaps of progress over the last year or so. You know, I've gone from like, can I mix these 2 songs together, to go, yeah, let's mix 4 songs together. You know, I don't care what people think. Effects, playing along on a drum pad, you know, adding all that kind of stuff, you know, great fun. You know, I'm just trying to push what I can do.
So would you say you're having more fun DJing now than you were before? Or
oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think the fun factor's really declined, but I think at the beginning of this year I was kind of frustrated with what I could do. I was like, oh, I was seeing all these big DJs and I was like, oh, I can't do that, I'm never going to be able to do it. Then now I'm like, I could do that.
I guess that's like the sort of like worst place to be. You're like, you're above beginner level, but you're sort of below where you know how to do most things, and you're like, oh, I really want to do that, but I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, it was unbelievably annoying, but you know, that's a stage at which a lot of people give up DJing. Most people give up DJing after 6 months, in fact.
Wow. That's,
I think it's like 80% of DJs.
I think you've been doing it for 2 years now. You've
gone
well past that.
Yeah, and no, I don't think I'm going to give up for the rest of my life now. I'm going to keep on pushing this. So, you know, if anybody out there ever wants to DJ for one of their parties or a festival, you know, someone who needs a backup DJ, an opening DJ, I'm here. You know, you can always DM me on Instagram or something like that for my contact details for those kind of things.
And on a sort of final note, what are your plans for the future? What are the next steps for DJ Xan?
My plans for the future? Well, that is to start DJing drum and bass, of course. You know, try and engage more with people. You know, like I am on here on Brian Radio. Trying to engage people, trying to teach them, give them advice on these kind of things. And I also feel like it's really important for me to start pushing for publicity, getting those advertisements out there. You know, getting events. You know, last year was kind of the year I had 2 events or so. You know, they went really well. But you know, now I'm going to start pushing. But of course, it is a bit difficult for me because of my age. I am only 15, although a very old-seeming 15-year-old. But unfortunately, but you know, it just gives me more time to prepare, doesn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really does.
If I can turn up 18 and I can go into a club and be like, mate, please let me warm up for you tonight, and somebody goes, oh, okay, you know, it's a bit weird, you're an 18-year-old, you know, I don't think you're going to be that good at the club. I mean, but then I end up showing up like one of their top DJs. That would be absolutely amazing.
I mean, who knows? Maybe even some of the people in that crowd would have known you from YouTube or something.
Yeah. See,
go DJ Xan.
Of course, for this year, I'm really, although YouTube's only ever been a real side project, for the first 3 months this year, I'm really going to be pushing on it. Once I've done my exams, you know, pushing it out.
It's really good for like publicity because it's there on the internet. Anybody can see it.
Yeah, and also I never know when I'm going to have that breakthrough moment when somebody's going to go, actually, you know what? I really like that. I'm going to share it with my friends. They share it with their friends. Stuff like that. You know, any sharing which you guys can do is always super appreciated because you know it's kind of like it's going to be my life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it would be amazing. Although slightly daunting if I get to one day where I'm like walking down the streets of Bournemouth or something and people are like, oh my god, hi DJ Xan. Hi. And yeah, although I think that might be a few years away. But you never know.
Well, yeah, you never know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, but you know, to finish off this show, I'd like to thank you all for helping me with the year of DJ Xan. And you know, here's to the next really. I think to this day, or maybe the day or two early, late, I don't know. I didn't really check since I posted my first video, and you know I've had such great fun. I hope you guys have too. And, you know I'm going to be pushing for more this year. I'm going to be doing more house, more techno, more drum and bass. I'm going to be taking more influences from you guys. I might even end up doing a few tutorials to help you guys because I don't want to just be myself. I said to my mum quite early on. She was like, "Oh, do you still want to be the next do you want to still be the next Carl Cox?" And I was like, "Nah, not really. I want to be the first DJ Xan," which is going to be my inspirational quote for the rest of my life, by the way. But I'd help. It'd be great if I can inspire a whole nother generation of people to pick up their first DJ decks and start DJing. Maybe end up DJing alongside me one day at a club or something like that, because that'd be really fun. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. It's been great to have you here, and you know what? I'll either see you on Monday if you're listening on Bri Radio, or I'll see you in the next video if you're listening on YouTube. Thank you.